Coach K, I can see you. Okay. Good evening, everyone. How y'all doing? If you can see me and you can hear me loud and clear, type I can see you and I can hear you. Or just type 111 in the comments or drop a fire emoji. Let's get the energy up and running. Let's get the energy up and running. If you can see me and you can hear me loud and clear, drop a fire emoji. 111. Yes, yes. BJ, I see you. Okay, so first things first. Our guest speaker is behind the scene waiting for us. We have been the one delaying himself. And I want you to share this broadcast as our custom is to your status. Don't worry, by the grace of God, this one will not crash like yesterday. So share it to your status so that we can get the ball rolling. Yes, yes. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the emojis. I see you, Benjamin. I see you, Peace, Joy. I see you, Grace Osaon. I see you, Esoye Omori. I see Malachi Anthony. I can see a lot of you here. Okay. So, yeah, I want us to be at least 100 of us live before I bring our guest speaker on board. It is regrettably lugubrious that and a pismat this man that such a man of timber and caliber is on stage tonight for us, and we are not a number. I know we have over 1,000 plus of us in this. I know some people already took excuse. They say they have a video and all that, and they want to watch the replay. But the good thing about those of you live is you get to ask your questions. Julius Bright, I see you. I greet you, Leroy Parker. All right, so okay. Emmanuel joining from Zambia. That's true. Hello. Okay. So someone is saying he stopped speaking after regrettably. I believe you all can still hear me. Can you still, let me even join this live because I know fish out. Our coach is seated and waiting for us. So guys, please go and share on the group. Someone is still asking me if I'm planning to shift the class when I'm already live. Because share on the group and let them know we are live. We are live, people. We are live. Go and make noise. Let's get every one of us up and running. Tonight, we're going to be talking about positioning. And someone was asking me a question earlier about positioning, if it's something we would cover. And I'm like, did you see the topic of today's call at all? So I'm flashing everyone on the group, hoping that you will get a missed call. Oh yeah, we are live. We are live. Join us live. We are live. Join us live on YouTube. We are live. So if you are not on YouTube already, you are wrong. If you're already on YouTube, please leave this WhatsApp call. We are live, people. Share the link to your WhatsApp status to the community. Let them know we are live. Please join us live. Join us live. We are live on YouTube. 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 Let's get everyone on board. I know some of us had a meeting. I myself had a meeting, but if you can hear me, it means I'm trying to say join us up on YouTube. We are live. Join us on YouTube. We're live. So let me go call the other group. In case of those who will say, I came late, what did I miss? I'm doing you the favor now. Yes, yesterday we were 200 at in the first few minutes. But I know perhaps because the class was shifted a bit, some people are still waiting for the update. Please, we are live. Join us live. We are live on YouTube. Join us live. Where is that link, by the way? Let me go share the link. We are live on YouTube. Join us. We are live on YouTube. Please join us on YouTube. We are live on YouTube. Join us on YouTube. We are live on YouTube. Join us on YouTube. Our guest speaker is behind stage or is backstage already waiting for us. I just want to make sure we have some momentum as we start. Okay, let's get the ball rolling. Where is everyone? I be some of them. I still go videos too. Okay. Okay, I can see the number coming up. Small, small. Okay, so I really someone said they went to do TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. The only thank God it's Friday anybody should be doing right now is building your personal brand and momentum. And this is your TGIF. All right, this is your TGIF. Awesome. Coach K, I see you backstage. Thank you for the patience. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're about brand positioning. As you can see in the topic, it says, let me read it again. Uh, High authority positioning secrets, how to become the only obvious choice in a sea of options. I'm glad because someone asked a question earlier, which I think I want to bring up. She said something and said that she had a recent experience where she tried pitching to a client and she noticed that in her pitch, she spent more time explaining how much why the person should be on LinkedIn and all that many talk. But she noticed the client, no matter how much she said, the client did not budge. And then it dawned on her that her positioning was wrong. That going forward, she wants to improve her understanding of brand positioning, especially how to communicate value to established clients in a way that aligns with their priorities rather than trying to convince them of the platform itself. And then she asked, will there be a topic on brand positioning in one of your sessions? And then I asked her back, did you see the topic of today's meeting at all? One of the things that exhausts me the most in this community is I would share something in the announcement and someone would come here, will still come and say I did not see it. For example, I shared a replay of last night and someone was still saying it's not playing. Meaning you are still with last night's link. Meanwhile, I shared the new link of today's zone on the community. It took me a while to really because the first one was taken down, but I still had access to it in the back end. So I had to download both, cut out the part where YouTube blocked us, and then I joined it together. Then uploading 3.3 gig, online was not so convenient, but finally we did. And then the moment it was up, I put it. I even sent an email. If you've not been seeing my email as well, check your promotion. So tonight, without any further ado, I want to bring our coach on board. Before I bring him on board, I want you to understand the person I'm bringing to come and talk to you. Maybe he may not even rate himself that much because you can see yourself finish. But I rate this man live. We don't do die. I rate this man live. I remember when I met Coach Kenny in 2021. I was already an affiliate marketer. I started affiliate marketer February, and I think I met him March or so. No, okay. April 2021 or so. And I remember because we all of us then we were in this support group. That is why I always say something that it's important the strength of your network more than the number you are adding. I still did talk am. So we were in this affiliate marketing support group, and I shared my win, how I made 800K, and then I saw this guy shared how he made 2 million naira on with affiliate marketing. As at that time, 2 million from affiliate marketing was a big deal, and I was like, whoa, who is this guy? So quickly, I know the delay. Once I see somebody where they do with I know something. I told you guys yesterday, even if it's just 10%, I will learn from you. I went to him and I told him I would love to learn from you. We booked a call, we spoke. And then I think there was this program he was paying for. I think I paid 50K for a mentorship there. Another thing, some of you will see value. You'll be hoping they give it to you for free. You're not ready. I will say you're not serious. Anyways, I asked him, I came prepared to say, I want to buy from you. And then he gave me an offer. You can go ahead, please. He gave me an offer, his mentorship, and I paid 50K. And I made a promise to him. I said, I'm going to be one of your best students. You'll be proud of me. And I remember telling him that. And truthfully, I did that. And as the more I won, I shared my results with him. Always letting him know that what you are doing is working. Because it was through Coach Kenny, I learned how to do lead multiplier using WhatsApp, how to use 10 contacts to get 1,000 members in your WhatsApp group. It was through him I learned how to do that. It was through him I learned how to position as a person that attracts, not chase. Because before I met him, I used to send. So those days, what I used to do before I met Coach Kenny, I don't think I've even said this before. Of course, I would have said it years ago. I would go to WhatsApp groups, all those WhatsApp groups that have many members. I will use contact gain. So I will send all of them DM. I'm Joseph. I want to teach you how to make 750K in 1 month as an affiliate marketer, Kinikon. And then I will get on calls. They will stress my life. And I did all that. I was chasing. But with Coach Kenny, I learned the importance. In fact, I used to say any small thing then I would be with him. I would say positioning. It was true. It was Coach Kenny that snapped me the picture that helped me go viral on LinkedIn. There was one picture, I wore one red suit then. He used his Samsung Note 20 Ultra to snap me that picture. So working with this man, the truth is, God has used this man to bless me in a lot of ways. And so, in as much as I can come here and teach you positioning, I can never do as much justice compared to Mr. Position himself. He is Mr. Position. When he enter you, it becomes in position in you. So, ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not too busy and if you are ready for this, drop a fire emoji in the comment section or drop your favorite emoji in the comment section as I bring Coach Ogene Kenny Nwokoye to come and talk to us tonight about brand positioning. I understand some of you are from Pakistan, India, and so it's really late where they are. They will come and watch this replay. But drop your fire emojis. Let me see it and be sure that YouTube has not dropped me out. Thank you. I can see that. I can see that. I can see Priska. I can see that Ben. I can see that BJ. I can see that Precious Amadi. So, Coach Kenny, with a round of applause, a standing ovation, let us celebrate the coach himself, the kingmaker himself, vessel of value, Coach Kenny Nwokoye. You have the floor, sir. Welcome, sir.
Wow. All this introduction. This man, I think you were a hype man in your former life. That one is a sure banker. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. I can see some of my people are here. Yeah, I can see some of my people are here. Big shout out. If you are a familiar, okay, if you're one of my familiars here, big shout out to you. Just give me something in the chat. Say type Value Nation or VOV Nation in the chat. If you're one of the familiars, you're not just meeting me for the first time, type VOV Nation in the chat. Hey, I can see Onyekachi is here. Definitely familiar with that one. I think I saw yes, I know I saw Gabriel. Great to have Gabriel here. And every other person who is a familiar, great to have you here. Awesome conversation we're about to have about positioning yourself. Awesome conversation we're about to have tonight. Okay, so I'm going to start by asking this question. Oh, wow, I see many Value Nation people and VOV Nation people in the chat. Amazing. Awesome. My people are plenty here. Great to see you guys. All right, so we're going to be talking about positioning. All right. And it's interesting that I was the one who taught Joe about positioning. But over the years, I've learned quite a lot of new things about positioning. So I'm going to compress everything that I know about positioning into a 1 hour lecture. So let's see if we can compress everything into a 1 hour lecture. Hopefully, we should be able to accomplish that. And then by the time we're done, we'll take as many questions as we can before we wrap it up. Okay. So if you have any question, please don't interrupt the session. Just write your question down. We'll get to a point in the session where we can take as many questions as we can, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay. So who's ready? If you're ready, type ready in the chat. Let's go. Type ready in the chat. If you are good to go, give me the word ready in the chat. All right, so I'm going to start by asking a question. You will notice I don't have slides. I don't do slides. That's not my style of teaching. I teach from the spirit. So as the spirit is flowing, you'll be catching everything that is coming out. So you should grab a note and a pen if you don't already have one. Okay. So first question I'm going to ask is, how many of us here who are watching this session right now currently are building a personal brand? You're currently building a personal brand. Type brand in the chat. Type the word brand in the chat. Okay. Type the word brand in the chat. And while you're doing that, second question to you, what do you want to be known for? So if I go to ChatGPT and I say best blank in Nigeria, right? Best blank in Nigeria. What is that blank going to be for you? Type it in the chat. We're going somewhere, okay? What is that going to be for you? Type it in the chat. Okay, we have many people here who are building personal brand. Awesome. Amazing. So what do you want to be known for? Type it in the chat. What do you want to be known for? Digital marketer. Charity says digital marketer. Okay. Francisca says decision coach. So you're going to be helping us to make decisions, eh? What if I want to make $1 billion decision? Are you going to help me make that one? Project manager. Okay. Okay, we have project manager, we have social media strategist, brand, data analyst. Awesome. Best book coach. Amazing stuff. Okay. Social media manager. Amazing. You know, interestingly, in the last 1 week alone, I've had at least 30 people who discovered me on social media because they searched best affiliate marketing coach in Nigeria or best digital marketing coach in Nigeria. Yeah. They searched ChatGPT, not Google. Somebody type positioning. We're going to do a lot of that today, okay? Get ready. You probably type positioning like 15 times before we're done. Now, everyone seems to have something that they want to be known for, right? Isn't it? Everyone seems to have something that they want to be known for. Business developer, resume and career strategist, and so on and so forth. So everyone seems to have something that they want to be known for. However, what I have found to be very common is that a lot of people don't really know what it truly takes to become the person who is known for a particular thing. A lot of people don't really understand the dynamics involved in the steps you need to take, particularly in order for you to be seen as a certain type of person, in order for people to see you for the very first time and, they think something about you. Does that make sense? So we're going to start with definitions. I'm going to assume that every one of us have never heard about the concept of positioning before, and so we'll start with definitions. This is not going to be a dictionary definition of this. Neither is it going to be what any other AI or whatever can give you as far as position is concerned. I'll give you the simplest layman, definition so you can understand where we are pushing this concept from. Okay. So positioning. What is positioning? before I tell you what is positioning, I like telling stories, by the way, you'll get used to it. Now, not too long ago, I got a message from someone on WhatsApp. Now, this was at a time when I was having so many things on ground, like I had too many things to do at that particular time, and I didn't have a personal assistant at the time. And so it was quite difficult for me to get to the person's message until like maybe 1 week later. When I finally got to his message, I saw that he had been trying to reach me on other platforms. He had reached out to me on Facebook. He had reached out to me on WhatsApp, my other WhatsApp number, and so on and so forth. He had reached out to me on multiple platforms. And so I finally responded to his message. However, mind you, when I replied his message, I didn't reply his message as me. I replied his message as my assistant. And that's a very common practice, something I do very commonly. Why? Because I want to create a perception that there is a barrier of entry. Create a perception that there's a barrier of entry. So I replied the message as my assistant. And I said, this is Mr. Kenny's assistant. Is there anything that can help you with? I can relay a message across or whatever. And so he introduced himself as the provost of the College of Medicine at a very prestigious private university in Nigeria. I could have said the name, but you guys will probably know the university, so I will not say the name. Yes. So he introduced himself, and then he said he had been trying to reach me because he was referred to me, or rather, like someone recommended me. That was how he said it. He said I was recommended by the Commissioner for Interior in Lagos State at that time, right? Okay. So he said they have an event and he would like to speak with me concerning that. So two reasons why I had to take that call was, one, it was referred by someone who is in government. So I said, okay, I'm interested in knowing what he has to say. That's number one. And then number two, the university he mentioned was the same university that my best friend attended. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is definitely someone I want to have a conversation with. And so I made arrangements for the call. I sent him a link so he could book the call. And he did book the call. So eventually we got on the call. And during the call, one of the first things he told me was, wow, that he is so excited to be on the call with me. I was shocked at that because I'm like, you are the provost of the College of Medicine of a prestigious private institution. Like, why are you excited to be on the call with me? Who am I that you're excited to be on the call with me? And he said, and I quote, if you heard the things that I heard that I now know about you. So the first thing he said is, if you heard the things that I heard about you, that was the first thing he said. And then the second thing he said, if you know how much I regard you since I did research on you, underline, since I did research on you, the lesson is in the story, okay? And then I said, okay, so what can I do for you? Now we're here. What can I do for you? And then he told me about an event that they had coming up. And interestingly, I was in Dubai at the time because I relocated to Dubai in 2022. So I was in Dubai at the time. And he told me that they had an event coming up in July and they wanted to book me as a speaker for that event. The next thing he said shocked me. Like, I had to maintain my steez after I heard what he said next because I wasn't prepared for it. In fact, most of us who are in this session right now, you are not prepared for it, even if you prepare for 1 year, most of us, you are not still prepared for it. For the moment when somebody will tell you something like, I wanted to book you for an event. Please, I hope you don't charge more than $10,000 to speak. We are hoping you don't charge more than $10,000 to speak. I'll pause for effect. Here I am thinking at that moment in time, I was in shock, but I didn't express the shock. I had to maintain composure. So I laughed, and I told him, I said, no, that we're just meeting each other for the first time, so I probably will not charge that high. Keyword, probably. It's all in the words. And I said, I probably will not charge that high. But of course, your team, will probably have to cover the cost of the flight and every other thing. All the logistics will be covered. He said, yeah, don't worry. We're going to put you in a business class and we'll make sure that you're well taken care of. He was now bragging. He was now bragging. He said the last time that they even invited Okonjo Iweala, that the last time they did the event, he even invited Okonjo Iweala for the event. Like, okay, that's impressive. That's impressive. Now taking it back. This is me. This is me who the highest I had ever charged anybody to speak at an event before that date was 5 million naira. That's the highest ever. And it's because the people in question had a lot of money to spend. And it was 5 million to speak. Now, here I am. And someone is asking to book me to speak. And the person is asking if I charge as much as whether I charge as much as $10,000 to speak. Can you imagine? Somebody type positioning. We're going to get there. I'm going to explain to you. There is a science behind it. Look, there is a science behind the engineering of perception to a point where somebody wants to pay you $10,000 so that you can come and speak for 45 minutes. There is a science behind it. You can engineer it. I'll show you how to do it. The point is not that the point is not that someone paid me $10,000 to speak. The point is that somebody assumed, keyword, somebody made a conclusion that I am the kind of person he would pay $10,000 to speak. Does that make sense now? Type position in the chat. Type position in the chat. Now, I had to tell that story so you can understand what we're talking about here, what we're dealing with here. This is not just about what makes you get likes on social media. If that's what you came here for, that what will give you followers or what will give you, what else again will I even mention? That's not what we're here for. That's not what we're talking about. That is not what we're talking about here. We are here to talk about something different. Okay? But please, before I start, I'm about to dive into the definition proper. Okay? I'm about to dive into the definition proper. So grab your notepad, whatever it is you're going to use and write, grab it. Okay, we're about to enter the main now. Okay. What is positioning? What is positioning? Positioning is the sum total of anything. Positioning is the sum total of anything that you do. You can underline the word do, or you can write it in capital letters, depending. Anything that you do Are you with me? I'm slowing down for those of us who are writing. So the sum total of anything that you do that creates a logical conclusion, that causes people rather to make a logical conclusion that you are who you say you are. The sum total of all the activities, every activity, everything that you do that causes people to make a logical conclusion that you are a certain kind of person, or that you are who you say you are, or you are who you want them to think you are. Please understand this at a fundamental level. If you don't get this right, everything else, even if I start giving you strategy from morning till night, it's not really going to help you, because the foundation is missing. So understand this at the fundamental level. Now, the next thing I want to explain to you is a concept called internal versus external decisions. Okay, we're building this up until we get to the final destination. So I want to teach you guys about the concept of internal versus external decisions. And then I will tie it back to the story that I shared with you guys a couple of minutes ago. Okay, internal versus external decisions. Now I'm going to explain this concept to you using a very little example / story. Okay, I'll explain it to you using a very simple illustration. Okay, now imagine you and I, we walk into a supermarket. Okay, I would have said grocery store, but like you and I, we walk into a grocery store or a supermarket, let's say supermarket, and When we walk into the supermarket, it's not my first time in that particular supermarket. Maybe it's probably my fifth or sixth or whatever, right? And we came in to buy some maybe house stuff, right? Maybe we came in to buy some groceries or whatever, right? So, and then when we walk in, um, of course, we are both walking side by side. You and I were walking side by side. And so as we walk in, I suddenly see a guy who is down the aisle, maybe probably where they sell perfumes and roll-ons, okay? Where they sell perfumes, body spray, roll-on, things like that. So we see this guy, he's by the aisle where they sell those things, okay? Now, you and I can see him. And the moment I see him, I tap you on the shoulder. Stay with me here, okay? So I tap you on the shoulder and then I point at him and I say, "You see that guy? You see that guy over there? He's a thief." Now let us assume that you and I are very close. And so you trust me, isn't it? Because we're close, you trust me. Now here I am, I'm telling you that that guy that is standing over there is a thief. Would you believe me? Yes or no? Come on, talk to me in the chat. Would you believe me? Yes or no? Assuming all the conditions I just explained, you trust me because you and I are close. Now we are in a supermarket. I look at someone, the guy is standing beside where he didn't take anything. No. He's standing beside where they are having their perfumes, their body spray, their roll on. And then I point at the guy and I tell you, that guy, you see that guy there? That guy is a thief. You will probably believe me, right? But the worst case scenario is that at that particular point in time, you are only going to think to yourself that he is a thief. You won't do anything beyond the internalized. You will not do anything beyond the mental belief that he or she is probably a thief because I said so, isn't it? You won't do anything about it most of the time. You will not do anything about it. However, let's paint a different scenario. Okay. Now, this time around, only you, or even two of us, let's even just say two of us walk into the supermarket, right? Two of us will walk into the supermarket. When we walk into the supermarket, we do the same thing. We walk in through the same door, we walk towards the same aisle, and then we see the same guy. Now, when we see that same guy, this time around, something different. Something different is happening this time around because now you see the guy, but you are seeing the guy take a piece of one of the roll-ons and he puts it inside his pocket. Are you seeing me? Right? He takes one, he puts it inside his pocket. You saw him do it. The next one, he takes one, he puts the second one inside his pocket. Now he's about to do it again, the third time. What would you do? Type it in the chat. Let me know in the chat. What are you going to do? What would you do? You now saw him visibly taking roll-on and putting it inside, like, and then he puts it inside. What are you going to do? At that point in time, tell me what we do. Because a lot of people will react differently. Some people will shout, "Thief, thief, 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 thief." Some people will say, "Security, take that guy, seize that guy." Some people will shout, some people will even rush the guy, maybe like dive the guy or something. Right? Yeah, some people will shout "Ole." Some people will do all kinds of things. But you know what's interesting, right? It's the same guy, it's the same thief, but two different decisions were made. In the first scenario where I told you the guy is a thief, you made an external decision because that decision was influenced by external factors. In other words, I am the external factor. Without me there, you wouldn't have known, or at least you wouldn't have believed that that guy is a thief. But here you are now, seeing him with your two eyes, taking the thing and putting it in, stealing the thing. Do you know what you make at that point in time? Your decision is not external, your decision is internal. Because it is without a doubt any form of doubt. It is without any form of doubt. It's the same guy, same thief, but two different decisions. You see what I mean, right? During the first scenario, you probably not do anything like I said, but now in the second scenario, you will go crazy. You will scream for help. You will shout. You will drag him by the shirt. You will pull the thing. People will do all kinds of things because of internal decisions. Internal decisions are infinitely more powerful than external decisions. Internal decisions are infinitely more powerful than external decisions. Why? Because what influences an internal decision is logical conclusions. If I tell you that somebody is a thief, you can't make a logical conclusion that is a thief. It's not logical because I am the one who's telling you that is a thief. But when you see the person taking something, a logical conclusion is made on the spot that leads to a reaction. Does that make sense? So internal decisions are infinitely more powerful than external decisions. So now let us edit our positioning definition. The sum total of everything you do on social media that triggers internal decisions, which leads to logical conclusions, and you are who you say you are. Are we learning something? Are we learning something? Okay. Okay. Now let me share with you guys. I'm going to share with you guys six powerful concepts about high authority position. As a matter of fact, I want to share with you 6 types of high authority positioning. And I want you to take note of every single one of these things. And before we even go ahead with the types of high authority positioning, I want you to make me a promise. You're going to make me a promise in the comment section, and you're going to tell me, are you going to apply this immediately? Because trust me when I tell you, knowledge is not power. I'm sure you've heard it before. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential power, isn't it? So if you don't apply this, your positioning will not stick. You will not be able to position yourself properly. So make me a promise right now. Jump in the chat and tell me, how quickly are you going to apply this? How quickly are you going to apply this? Now, the first type of high authority positioning is the most common one. Most people don't know it as this, but it is the most common one. I often refer to it as surface level positioning. Okay. I often refer to it as surface level positioning. What is surface level positioning? It's basically on social media, for example, it's anything and everything you do on social media that creates a perception or that causes people to make a logical conclusion that you are who you say you are. Okay? That's surface level positioning. The elements that influence surface level positioning, you already know many of them, isn't it? You already know that if you have a nice DP on social media, it is a form of surface level positioning. If you have a strong written bio that is very clear, it has a value statement. Who am I trying to help? How am I trying to help them? For example, that is a strong element of surface level positioning, right? That is a strong element of surface level positioning. You have your cover photo on Facebook, for example, your cover photo on LinkedIn. You guys are LinkedIners, right? Many of us, we're all LinkedIners. So you have your cover photo on LinkedIn. Surface level positioning. Stuff that people see, because that's what people see first. That's the thing, right? That is what people see first. When people see it, they have to make a logical conclusion. As a matter of fact, whether you engineer it or not, you are engineering it. Did you get what I said? You are building your surface level positioning, whether you are building it or not. Because when people come across you for the first time, they will inevitably make a logical conclusion about you. So when they see you for the very first time, they're like, this person is the kind of person that I want to follow. This person is not the kind of person that I want to follow. Logical conclusions. When they see you for the very first time, they're going to make a logical conclusion. This is the kind of person I want to learn from. This is not the kind of person I want to learn from. A logical conclusion must be made. When somebody sees you for the first time, they think this is the kind of person I want to pay to solve my problem, or this is not the kind of person I want to pay to solve my problem. Surface level positioning. But the conclusion is made regardless. So whether you are building your surface level positioning or not, you are building it. You see what I mean? So that's why you need to be building it with intention, not neglect. Okay? You shouldn't be building it with neglect. You should be building it with intention. But either ways, you're building it, trust me. So you have to take control of the narrative, right? Take control of how you are positioned on the surface level. Type I will make changes and I will take control. Whichever one. Type I will take control in the chat. Type I will take control in the chat. So those are a few examples of elements that can increase or reduce your surface level positioning. But basically, your surface level positioning is everything you do on social media, for example, right? That when people see you for the first time, because these are the things that people see. Keyword here, right? These are the things that people see either when they stumble across you on social media, or when they search for you on social media, or when they search for things that you want to be known for on social media. These things all contribute to surface level positioning. People don't pay attention. Most people don't pay attention to these things. I tell you for free. Most people don't. They're busy creating content every day. Like, content is all that you need to get there. When you position yourself right, you won't need to do a lot of selling. Trust me. People will sell themselves when you position yourself right. People will come. Remember the story I shared with you guys, right? When he came to me, did you think he had made an external decision or an internal one? Tell me in the chat. And did you notice how he sold himself? I didn't tell him how much I charge. He came and said, I hope you don't charge up to $10,000 to speak. Isn't that crazy? Positioning. So surface level positioning, right? Surface level positioning. It is a powerful tool for attraction. It is a powerful tool for attraction. I tell you, if you address your surface level positioning right at the beginning of your journey online, you are not going to stress a lot when it comes to attraction, because you will be attracting the right kind of people into your world. You are clear about who you're trying to help. You're clear about how you're trying to help them. You're definitely going to attract the right people. Yes. It can happen in any way. Okay. Grace, it can happen in any way. In some cases, someone makes mention, the person goes doing the research. In some cases, they go online and they search. It doesn't matter how it happens. What matters is what they find, because it's what they find that either increases your strength of positioning or reduces your strength of positioning, right? So if you have done your positioning right, then they will make the right logical conclusion. If you have done it wrongly, they will find what they're not supposed to find. Trust me when I tell you this. Let me give an example. I made a post on X a while back, and that post got about 450,000 views. Now, that post was viral for several reasons, because one of them was the fact that it was controversial. It was a controversial post. And it was a story, of course, because I love telling stories. Now, this particular story was an expose where I blew it wide open for the very first time. Someone who a lot of people have been looking up to online. I told the story from my real life experience with him. Okay. Long story short, that story was so good that someone who is a well-known movie producer, I don't want to mention his name because he's associated with a lot of controversy. Now, this guy is a well-known producer. I didn't know him. I've probably seen him on X like once or twice before. But this guy engages on my post. He reacted to the post. He commented on the post, made a very nice comment about the post. And then he sends me a DM on X. Now he sends me this DM and he's like, I'm trying to remember the words that he used. Maybe I can even find that DM so I can give you word for word what he actually said. Yeah, there it is. I found it. So he sends me a DM and he says, shouldn't you think of making this into a film? I am sure it wouldn't make you break a bank. with all the money you people in Dubai have. And I laughed. I laughed about what he said. And then I told him, I said, I don't care about the story that much for me to go and turn it into a movie. The guy is not that important in my life. I was just telling the real story so that people can know who he is for who he is and all of that. But then he went further and said it will make a great comedy documentary or real life story, that let's explore it. And then he asked me for my WhatsApp number. He sent me a message on WhatsApp, and he asked if it was okay if they adapted that story that I wrote as a real life Netflix movie. Is it movie or documentary or whatever he called it? Now, most people would have seen that, and immediately they see that opportunity. Keyword here, opportunity. It looks like an opportunity, but when they see that kind of thing come up, it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. My story, small story that I just wrote like this, boom, it even blew up. And next thing, somebody wants to turn it into a Netflix movie. Oh, I don't have I've blown. My life is made. All of that. That's what most people would think, isn't it? But that's not what I thought. The first thing I did was I went online and I asked Claude to do a research on the guy for me. I told Claude to dig around the entire internet and find dirt on this guy, to find the real truth about him before, because if I'm committing to doing a Netflix whatever with him, then it means that whoever he is will rub off on me. And if it's good, then it's good for me. And if it's bad, then it's bad for me. I want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so I did my research. If his positioning was done right, if he didn't just pay attention to creating a public good perception, if he didn't just pay only attention to what the good things that he wants people to see him as, and he also paid attention to negative PR, I wouldn't have made the logical conclusion, the internal decision. He's not the kind of person that I want to work with, because he showed me that he had been indicted before, that he forged. There was a time when he went to one UK university and started calling himself a professor when nobody recognizes him in the school where he claimed he was a professor. He told me about the controversy that was so big that Wole Soyinka had to intervene in the matter, and so many other things. And the final conclusion and recommendation from Claude, based on its findings, was this guy is a ticking time bomb. I wouldn't work with him if I were you. You see that? And if you find out, you will find out that this person in question was intentionally trying to position himself as something. This Bernard, you know people, oh, I fear you. So, he was already trying to position himself as something, okay? Already trying to, get seen as a particular thing. But what he didn't know was that on some part, there are some nooks and crannies of the internet where some bad news about him was already spreading. It's public information. For Claude to have it is public information. So it's not like Claude went and found everything. So the point I'm trying to make is, if somebody does a research about you today, what are they going to find? Question number one. That's question number one. If someone does a research about you today, what are they going to find? If they don't find anything, that is not a good thing. That is a problem. You are invisible. That's a problem. If they find something bad that causes them to make a logical conclusion that they don't want to work with you, that's also bad. That's also bad. So you see, positioning is not just about the sum total of the good things you are putting out. It's also the sum total of the bad things that you're managing as well. I've been doing internet marketing for the past 8 years, and there has never been any public scandal about me. It doesn't mean that I don't have issues with clients. It doesn't mean that there have been issues where lawyers got involved, but it never made it to the social media platforms. Positioning is also about how you manage image. Image management. It's also about image management. Are we together? Is anyone learning something? Surface level positioning. Now let's continue because of time. Okay. Let's continue because of time. That's surface level positioning. Some people know this guy very well. Oh. He's very famous. I can see that. Now, the next kind of positioning, right? High authority position is probably going to be my favorite one because this is one of the most powerful forms of high value, high authority positioning. As a matter of fact, this is the way to instantly position yourself as someone who is likable in the minds of people. Okay. It's called value matching. So write it down. Value matching. Value matching. So write it down. Now, what is value matching? The easiest way for me to explain is by giving you an illustration. Stay with me. My name is Obinna. That's my first name. Most people don't know, by the way, because everybody calls me Kenny. So, but my first name is Obinna. Obinna Afamifuna Nwokoye. Junior Kenneth. Kenneth is actually borrowed from my dad. Interestingly, I was the one that funkified it and turned it to Kenny. But you see, my full name is Obinna Kenneth Afamifuna Nwokoye. And they call me Afamifuna because I'm the only son out of four. Out of four, yes. I'm the only son out of four. I was born and raised in Edo State, Benin City to be precise. And originally I am from Anambra State, Oka South local government area to be precise. Do we have any Igbo people here? Yes. Now, I did my primary school in Benin, Federal Staff School to be precise, in Ugbo. And then I did my secondary school in Uniben Demonstration Secondary School. Uniben Demonstration Secondary School is the secondary school of Uniben as University of Benin, right? And yes, you guys should stay with me. I'm going somewhere with this. Yeah, so yeah, after my secondary school, I did my university in Uniben. I studied accounting because I thought it was going to be one of those easy courses. The thing turned to a course for me, CURSE, because I graduated with one of those results they used to call "Let My People Go." You know those ones now? Yeah. So if not that I had a parent in the system, I'm not sure I would have graduated. But I graduated with one of those "Let My People Go" 2-2. Second class lower. And when I got out of the system, I went for my NYSC. I did my NYSC in Kwara State. Oh, by the way, greatest of the greatest Uniben. Do we have any Uniben students, either past, present, past, present, or even future? Anyone? Type it in the chats and stay with me. So I did my NYSC in Kwara State in Ilofa. It was Okero local government area, and then the town was called Ilofa. It was close to Omuaron, which is where we have Landmark University. Someone is from UDSS. Stay with me. Don't worry. Just stay with me. Okay. And so I did the NYS in Kwara State, spent 1 year there. Before I even went to Kwara State, in my mind, like when I got my posting for NYSC, I was like, where's Kwara on the Nigerian map? I've never seen it on the map before. Well, anyways, that's where I went to do my NYSC. And interestingly, I went to NYSC as an introvert, and I came out as something that people will no longer believe is an introvert, because during the NYSC, I was given 4 leadership positions. And those 4 leadership positions were Group CDS President, General CDS President, and then MD of the choir of 2 platforms. And so I didn't say no to those opportunities because I saw it as a chance to develop my leadership skills. And so I said yes, even though I was scared to death. And somehow I was able to pull off the assignments like really well. I was able to do the leadership assignment really well. At the end of the day, I passed with flying colors. By the time I finished my NYSC, I came back to Benin and I went to meet a mentor of mine, someone who I used to look up to at that time. So I just told him, I said, bros, I don't finish anything for your boy. So that's how close we used to be, kind of then. So when I told him that, he said, okay, I should come to the office on Monday. So I went to the office the following Monday. And that's how I landed my first 9 to 5 job without salary. Yeah, that was how I landed my first 9 to 5 job without salary at a software company in Benin. So I started there as a contract staff of the company. And for the first 2 months in that company, I wasn't paid shingbai. I wasn't paid salary. It was because I was a contract staff, of course. So I was doing like my training kind of thing. So I didn't even mind because most of my mates, yeah, without salary, most of my mates were still at home. Like they were still at home or job hunting. In my mind, I'm better than them. At least I get to wake up and go to office that I call work. So by the third month at the company, I I applied for retainership. Mind you, this was 2016. It's not today. Oh. Some people will say without salary, it's not today. Oh. It's not the same thing as today. So I applied for retainership at the company. They retained me. Rose Abby, they don't get it. So they retained me at the company as a contract staff. That's how I started working with their networking department. And I was working with the networking department until my salary was okay. At that point in time, they started paying me 15,000 naira per month. Yeah, they started paying me 15,000 naira per month, and then before you know it, they started paying me 22,500 naira per month. Before you know it, 42,500 naira per month. That was when they upgraded me to a senior staff, and they changed my department as well. But long story short, I was able to work my way up the corporate ladder at that company from contract to junior to senior to management. You know what that means, right? You guys who have been in the corporate world, you know what I'm talking about. When you go from contract to junior to senior to management in 2 years. 2 years. That's what happened. So 2 years of massive growth. And after it happened, I was excited, of course, but that's the thing about enviable blessings, right? That's the thing about enviable blessings. It can turn friends into enemies. And that's exactly what happened in my case. It turned friends into enemies. And the people who were supposed to be colleagues of mine, they created a cock and bull story, so to speak. They got an opportunity to frame me and they succeeded in framing me for something that I did not do. And my case was judged without my presence. I've never seen where that happens before, but my case was judged without my presence, and I was booted out of the company in July 2018. That was a shocking moment for me because I had no savings, I had no investments, I had nothing. I got out of that job with nothing but a Samsung Galaxy Note 8 to show that I had worked for 3 years at a company. It was a devastating moment. It was probably going to be what I would call my biggest rock bottom moment. Because when I got home that night, my official car, they took the official car that's not the same day. I mean, 10 minutes after they gave me envelope, they took the official car. They came and collected the car key, like, we're coming to come and arrest this guy. They took the car key. They put, what do you call it? They took my hard drive. They wanted to go and check for company documents inside. They took all my stuff that was inside the car. They took it out and I put it in my laptop bag. They took the laptop, the official laptop that was given at the company. They took it away. What else? Basically everything that I was with. The only thing I went home with was my phone and an empty laptop bag. I didn't want them to see my tears, so I had to be strong until I left that place. So I left there. I think it was that same night when I got home that night. When I got home that night, I cried my eyes out for many reasons. One of the reasons was because I felt very betrayed. That's one of the reasons. I felt very betrayed. I felt like 3 years of my life had wasted. What did I do with 3 years of my life at this place, you know? And so many other feelings that were just floating at that very point in time. But I was looking at that moment as a rock bottom moment. But little did I know that that was a springboard in disguise, because I'll share with you rather how that turned into a springboard. The following morning, I went to church and I laid down at the altar. And I was crying really because I didn't know what else to do. I didn't know what direction to go. I don't have a CV. The job that I got, that I just got fired from, my boss didn't know what I studied in school. So I didn't have a CV. So, like, how do I want to start? Where am I going to start from? So, so at that point, I had stayed for about 3 hours in church. I stayed for about 3 hours. And then I heard a voice. I don't know where the voice came from. Maybe it was on my inside or wherever. But it asked me, said, what do you have in your hand? I looked in my hand. My hand was empty. I didn't have anything in my hand. So it said again, what do you have in your hand? Suddenly, I looked within and I understood what, I just don't know how I understood, but I understood what it was saying. That I had two skills. At that point in time, I had two skills. I had two skills, which were graphics design and motion graphics. Okay? Graphics design and motion graphics. And immediately I knew what I needed to do. I knew immediately that I needed to start offering that skill in exchange for money. But the problem with that, and I'm sure many people here can relate, is that when people don't know who you are, when you don't have a track record, when you don't have a portfolio, you look like virus. People will be running away from you. As a matter of fact, you look like a living, breathing representation of risk. So nobody wants to work with an otondo. So when I was, when I realized that that was what the voice meant, my new problem was, how do I get people to want to pay me money? How do I get people to want to work with me when I am nothing but an otondo with no portfolio, with no results? With, like, if somebody say, show me some of your work, where is the some of your work I want to show them? I don't have some of your work to show. And I can't get some of your work to show because nobody wants me to work with them so that I can have some of your work to show. So that was now the new problem that I had to face. And suddenly I got an idea to solve that one. Why don't you take the risk away from the table? So I took away the risk by offering my excellent service as a gift. I first of all made the mistake of trying to do it for people for free. And that's the same mistake that some of us make too. I'm using this to teach many things at the same time. Pay attention. So I made the mistake at first of doing it for free, trying to do it for free. That I say, I want to do this thing for you for free. I say, I want to do this thing for you for free. If you like it, then you can give me some feedback, isn't it? That's what many of us should start with. That's what I started with. But the problem with that is that when you're positioning yourself as, and again, it's still positioning, by the way. So people will make the logical conclusion that what you have to offer is not valuable. It's not valuable. And so even naturally, most people will even say no, even if you want to do it for them for free. Even today, go and try it now. Go and try it today. You see what I'm talking about. And so what that taught me was that, especially when you're working with people who have the money to pay, when you're working with people who are rich, in quotes, right? People who have money don't like free stuff. I'm telling you, people who have money, there's levels to having money, yeah? But people who have money don't like free stuff, but they love gifts. They love gifts like mad. So I reframed my approach. Instead of trying to give it to them as something free, get my stuff for free, just give me feedback, I changed it and I said, hey, I have been following your work for some time now. I love what you do. I'm inspired by what you're building, and I want to support your brand. Support your brand, support your business, sponsor your business with blank, where blank is what I do. So I say, I want to sponsor your brand, your business with an excellently done promotion video for your new campaign you have coming up. Who will say no to that? So this was what I did. I did it and I sent the message across to 10 people on Instagram after doing good research on them and everything. So when I sent it across to them, I got 3 responses on the spot. No, I got 5 responses and I got 3 of them to contract me immediately. They were happy to work with me. They sent me everything I needed to do the job. I got it and I did the job. Now let's move ahead. That's how I landed my first few clients as a service provider. Okay. Yeah. That was how I landed my first few clients as a service provider. I remember I was charging 20,000 naira for videos back then, and I was charging 2,000 naira for logo design and 5,000 naira for CVs. Yeah. Interesting times. But then in 2019, I discovered internet marketing and everything changed because I got to understand that it was possible for me to sit in my house and find products that are useful, recommend them to the people who need them, and then I make money. It was crazy. That was a huge light bulb moment for me the day I discovered it. And so I dug into it. I bought a training about it, learned the craft. I didn't really learn the craft from the beginning. I bought the training because I wanted to make money, if I'm being honest. So I suffered for 11 months to learn that the only shortcut is the process. So I decided to go into the process. And long story short, I finally figured out what works. Got to make my first 500,000 2020, July 2020. And then after that, I think about 60 days after I'd crossed my first seven figures in Naira. 33 days later, I crossed my second seven figures. And 35 days later, I crossed my third seven figures. Now, since then, a whole lot of things have happened. We created a group coaching program that impacted so many thousands of lives, including the great man that is hosting this session today. And in a space of 3 years, we're able to raise no less than 400 seven-figure internet marketers. And we raised over 1,000 six-figure internet marketers. We raised at least 10 eight-figure internet marketers. 8 figures means they had made above 10 million, right? Now we have students who have done multiple 9 figures. We have people who have done multiple 9 figures now. Yes. And then in 2022, I got the opportunity to relocate, and I did. I relocated to the United Arab Emirates because I wanted to expand my business into the US, UK, and the UAE market specifically, because I created a company in the UAE, a coaching and consulting company. So that was a huge scale moment for me. And as that was happening, many more opportunities opened up. So many opportunities opened up as a result of that. And then one day I was sitting down and I looked back at the beginning point, the day it all started, when I lost my job. And suddenly it didn't look like a rock bottom moment anymore. What did it now look like? Somebody should tell me in the chat. Now, story time is over. Let's go back. There's a reason I shared that story with you. My first question to you is this. Was there anything in that story that we have in common? Was there anything in that story that we have in common? It could have been anything. It could have been the fact that I'm an Igbo man from Oka South Local Government Area in Anambra State. It could have been the fact that I was born and raised in Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria, right? I remember the last time I shared this story, I even mentioned my street. I mentioned the road where my street was, my former street, Ohoro Road. Ohoro, how many of us know Ohoro in Benin? I didn't know that something as specific as Ohoro Road could be something I would have in common with someone who was listening to me that very day. That lady sent me a DM that day and bought one of my 50,000 naira programs that same day because of that mention that I lived at. What are the odds you will find someone that lived on the same road where you grew up? Anything can form what we call a value match. We are infinitely attracted to people who are just like us. Write this thing down in your notepad because it will help you when it comes to positioning. We are infinitely attracted to people who are just like us. You might have been meeting me today for the first time. You've never seen my face before on social media. You've never met me. But today, because I shared a story and I mentioned something that we have in common, instantly you hate me less, even if you hated me before. Instantly, you feel, I like this guy. Instantly, you feel, oh, ladies, you guys are the ones that do that a lot, right? When I mention Oka man, an Oka woman will say, oh, my brother. Is it not? That's what we're talking about. It's called value matching. value matching, the process of creating common ground with people is called value matching. And one of the most powerful ways of creating common ground with people is by telling stories. It's by telling stories. You saw how I did that just now. It was effortless. It was like we're just gisting, isn't it? But in the process of gisting with you, I formed so many value matches with so many people. Anything, and I tell you this, anything can form a value match with someone. You never know what will form a value match with someone, but the moment a value match is formed, immediately people feel like they like you because we are infinitely attracted to people who are just like us. So value matching is one of the most powerful ways to position yourself instantly. And look, I've used value matching in stories in the past to get a complete, absolute stranger who didn't know me 30 minutes before. The person hears a story, value matches are formed. Immediately, the person comes into the DM and says, I would like to learn more from you. Do you have any courses? And I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. You can go to my seller store, go to my store on seller. The person goes to my seller store and buys every single thing on the store. I had to call him. I had to call him because who are you? Where did you come from? Do you know me? Do I know you? And he told me, he said, no. But that story you shared about the job that you lost and how you lost the job, that's exactly what happened to me. And if your life can change the way it has, then I believe mine can too. That's why I bought all your trainings. Anything can form a value match. And remember what I said, that we are infinitely attracted to people who are just like us. The more the value matches are, the more the value matches are, the stronger the connection between you and that stranger. The person will go home that day and be thinking, I want to follow this person more. I want to follow this person more. I want to know this person more. They just want more because there is now a strong connection. You have now created a strong connection by just sharing a story. Isn't it? Powerful stuff. This is advanced. What I'm teaching you guys is advanced. You will not see it in many trainings. No, you won't. Now, let's continue, right? So let's continue. Any opportunity, and before I continue, any opportunity you get to tell a good story, always use it. I can't stress this enough. Okay? Any opportunity you get to tell a good story, always use it. Always use it. Because every time you're sharing a story, you are forming value matches with people. I tell you this, you are forming value matches with people. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Over the years, I've shared so many stories. I've lost count. I've lost count of the number of stories. But every time I share a story, a value match is formed. One of the value matches I formed recently with people, there's a lot I didn't share in my story, but there's something you can probably see in the background. You see that? That's a guitar, right? I could open it up and you see what's inside. Beautiful guitar. That's my dream guitar you're seeing right there. And it was bought by my students in 2023. It was a surprise birthday present from my students. I cried my eyes out that day. But you see that guitar right there represents my first love. It represents my first love. That instrument was was the only instrument I ever learned how to play. I started learning in 2011 after I had passed my SSCE. So when I passed my SSCE, that they said my senior wife, when they said, what do you want? I said I wanted to buy a big guitar. And they went and bought me one Pangolo guitar back then. I remember they bought me one Pangolo guitar that time. And I was so happy. I was so proud of that guitar then. You should see me when I was with that guitar. You can't separate me, but you can't separate the love between me and that guitar. you know? But I love that guitar so much. And I used to tell people around me that I was going to show it to my children. My children, they were going to see my first guitar. But since that time, 2011, 2010, 2011 till now, a whole lot has happened. I learned how to play the instrument. It started complementing the fact that I sing. Most people don't know that I sing, by the way. If I sing for you now, ladies, beware. Yeah, I sing too. I mean, how would they make me music director of two choirs if I didn't know how to sing? But you see, as I'm mentioning all these elements of who I am and who I am as a person, my personality, value matches are being formed. People who are listening right now, somebody who is a singer or who is in the choir will say, oh my God, this guy is also a choir member too. Wow. Value match. Somebody say, do like this. I wish I was seeing you guys on video right now. You say, do like this value match. This value match. That's the symbol for value match. Isn't it? Yeah. So the more you share about yourself, the more stories you tell, the more value matches you can create with people. And the stronger the connection becomes. Again, why? Because we are infinitely attracted to people who are just like us. Yes, that's the emoji. Abdulaziz got the emoji. You guys give me that emoji in the chat. That's it. That's it. That is it right there. Love it. Okay. So let's continue because of time. We still have like how many more? We have like 4 more kinds of positioning to cover. So yes, let's move on from value matching to the next kind of positioning, right? Next kind of positioning, high value positioning system is positioning by association. Positioning by association. I remember the first time I met Mikel Obi. You guys know Mikel Obi, right? I'll give examples of amazing people that I've met over the years. Mikel Obi is one of them. Nas Daily, you guys probably know Nas Daily, that's 1 minute see you tomorrow guy. Yeah, that's Nas Daily. And who else again? Vishen Lakiani of Mind Valley. Interestingly, Vishen Lakiani, the photograph I have with Vishen Lakiani, of which I have 2 actually on 2 different occasions. Those photographs landed me one of my highest paying clients till today. Those photographs landed me one of my highest paying clients today. How did it happen? He saw the photograph that I had with Vishen Lakiani, who, by the way, is the founder of one of the biggest personal development platforms in the world. So you can Google him, Vishen, Vishen. I think it's an Indian name or something. Lakiani, Lachiani, right? Now, that photograph with Vishen, the man saw the picture. And interestingly, a value match was formed. Immediately he saw that picture, a value match was formed because he has been following Mind Valley for over 5 years, and he has been partaking in their trainings, and he has been a part of Vishen's following for a long time. So the moment he saw the picture with Vishen, instantly a logical conclusion was made. Positioning by association happened instantly. And that's the point I'm trying to make here. Positioning by association, which is basically positioning by virtue of who you are seen with. Positioning by virtue of who you associate with. Positioning by association. Right? Most people use this one wrong. Yeah. Most people use this one wrong. You attend an event where one of your mentors is speaking. You attend an event where someone you look up to is speaking, and you get the opportunity to snap picture with them. After you snap the picture with them, the next thing you go and post to your audience is, I can't believe I met this man today. He has been one of my idols since the 1986 of 1955. This man has been somebody that I love so much and I can adore him so much. Instead of you to say, it was great meeting Kenny today. It was great having time to stand side by side with Kenny today. It was great spending time with Kenny today. You could have positioned that thing differently, and immediately it leads to a different logical conclusion. When you hear a statement like, I met this guy today, and it was really exciting. Do you think people will see it differently versus, this guy is one of my biggest idols of life. I can't believe I met him for the very first time in my world. This guy is so lovely. I love him so much. I worship this guy. The logical conclusion will be different. The logical conclusion will be different. Next time you go for such events, have someone else who's going to be holding your phone for you. Make sure you have someone who's going to be your support, who's going to hold your phone. And the person will not just take a photograph. If you get an opportunity to ask the person a question, if you ask the person a question or you get the opportunity to ask the person a question, make sure there's someone there to capture the video. When a person captures the video, You post that video without audio. You don't need to post it with audio. You can put it without audio. It was great having a conversation with Kenny today. That's all. You don't even need to say anything beyond that. Positioning will do the rest. You don't need to say anything beyond that. It was great having a conversation with Kenny today. I remember when we went to Nasdali's office in Dubai, they invited us, myself and my team, we went to Nasdali's office. And when we got there, those of us who were following me at that time, you wouldn't have seen me make a video where I was saying, oh my God, this is Nasdali's office. I can't believe I'm here. No, that was not it. I made a video and I said, I want to show you guys the office of Nasdali. I'm sure you know him. Right now, we're in Nasdali's office. We're invited for a meeting. And before he comes, I want to quickly show you what his office looks like. And that's it. I just showed them this. Did a video, selfie video. Did a selfie video of the entire office. When I was done, boom, posted it, boom, done. But you know what that does? What that does is in the mind of the person who's viewing that thing is like, this guy must be a big shot for him to be in Nasdali's office. That's positioning. Okay, actually, that's not positioning by association, but it still passes the point. It still passes the point. Okay? Hope you're getting what I'm saying. Positioning by virtue of who you are seen with. And not just who you are seen with, but how you are seen with them. Keyword is how you're seen with them. It's not necessarily who you're seen with, it's more how you're seen with them. Okay, because of time, let's move on. We still have a lot to cover. We're still even going to take questions by the time we're done, so let's continue. All right. Now, so that's positioning by association. And the twin brother of positioning by association is positioning by location, aka geographical positioning, right? Which is positioning by virtue of where you are seen. Okay? Are you getting me? So it's positioning by virtue of where you are seen. Positioning by virtue of where you are seen. It is not about traveling for luxury trips. It's not all about traveling for luxury trips because nowadays those things don't really have much value anymore, to be honest, as much as before. It's before that people used to die for those things. But now it's different. The energy is different because they've seen so much of those things that the value has shifted. But geographical positioning is positioning by virtue of where you are seen. Okay? And I believe this one explains itself, isn't it? Yeah, it explains itself. This one explains itself 150%. An example of geographical positioning was the trip I had to NAS company. That's what they call the place, NAS company. That's NAS Daily. So the trip I had to NAS company is an example. All right. A video of you sitting in the VIP section waiting for your time to speak at an event is also geographical positioning, where you are seen. I want you guys to internalize this thing because if you don't internalize it, you will not be able to recognize opportunities to do these things around you. You can be in a room that has powerful geographical positioning opportunities, powerful association positioning opportunities, and you will not see it because your mind is not there. But now you are understanding what is fundamental about this thing so that your instinct to position will become refined. Because the truth is, positioning in and of itself is an attitude. It is not only a strategy. If you don't develop the attitude of positioning, then you will see opportunities and they will fly by. You will not take advantage of them because the attitude is lacking. That's why you and I can be put in the same room, but we're going to be positioned differently because of the attitude. So you get what I mean, yeah? Geographical positioning. Now let me teach you guys one of my favorite, most powerful forms of high value positioning is what I call the demonstration of authority. Right? It's called the demonstration of authority. What do I mean when I say the demonstration of authority? I'm going to give you an example. I usually like to teach by giving illustrations. That way you are able to cement the thought in your head and it makes perfect sense to you. Okay? You guys like it like that? Yeah? Okay. So what is demonstration of authority? What does that mean? So still going back to Still going back to my story, I shared about Nastily then. About 2 months, was it about 2 months? Yeah, maybe a month or two after I first met him, I was invited to his house along with maybe few other people, like 20 to 30 other people, precisely. And it was during Iftar season. You guys know Iftar, the Muslim period where, Muslims share food and things like that. That was one of my favorite periods in Dubai, I have to be honest, because during Iftar in Dubai, they used to share free food for 30 days straight. I'm not joking. The restaurant where I used to get Nigerian food from in Dubai, they were giving away free food for 30 days straight. Do you know what that means? Every morning, my own is just to go to their WhatsApp status and go and check for their Iftar menu. Once I see their Iftar menu, like, okay, which one do I want? I want rice and beans and stew and meat and turkey. I mean, turkey. I'll order it, they'll bring it to my house. So the only thing I'll just pay for is delivery fee. Crazy. For 30 days, different menu every day. Anyway, that one's by the wayside. Now, so I share that because when we were invited to his house, it was during Iftar. And so when I got to his place, when I got to his house, I got there about 15 minutes late because they had already started when I got there. They don't do African time, it's not like Nigeria. So when I got there, one of the first things I noticed was that I was the only black guy in the room. Everybody else was white or Israeli or from UK or from the US or from UAE or from some other country. But I was the only African black guy in the room. There was an African black girl who was also Nigerian, by the way, interestingly. And we became friends. But I was the only African male that was black. So that was one of the first things I noticed. So I went to the back where everybody else was. Please, I'm trying to explain to you guys the demonstration of authority, so pay attention so you can understand how it is done in practice. So when I got to the back, I noticed they were passing the mic around, right? So I noticed they were like, not a literal mic per se, but like they were saying, they will point at you and say, who are you? 30 seconds, go, that kind of thing. So that was where I met them in the conversation. So by the time I got into the room, the next thing I saw was, so by the time I got into the room, I think it was like maybe 4 or 5 people away from me by the time I got there. And so when it was like 2 people away from me or 1 person away from me, I remember thinking to myself, who am I? Because that's the question they were going to ask me, like, who are you? 30 seconds, go. So remember, like, who am I? At that point, I had forgotten who I am. I wanted to just enter inside the ground because it was a very tense moment. So, but somehow, before it was my turn to speak, something just told me quietly, you are who you need to be to get the most value out of the room. It hit me like a thunder, like a lightning bolt. You are who you need to be to get the most value out of the room. And immediately I felt so much calm because this is me who is a multi-potentialite. There are so many different ways I can help people. So sometimes it's difficult to put yourself in one line, as a description and say, I am this. It's difficult. So immediately that thing told me, I was just calm, immediately like, you are who you need to be to get the most value out of the room. Immediately it said, I got that in my spirit. I knew what I needed to say. So when the mic was passed on to me, when they said, who are you? 30 seconds, go. I said, hello, everyone. I'm excited to be here. My name is Kenny. And over the past 5 years, I've built 3 communities. Mind you, this is a gathering of community builders. Okay. So I said, over the past 3 to 5 years, I've built 3 communities. 2 of them are free communities, and 1 of them is paid. The paid community currently houses 8,000 plus members across 55 countries, and we are currently looking to monetize 1 of the other free communities. The paid community currently charges as high as $997 for our highest membership, and I'm excited to be here. Thank you very much. Done. Drop the mic. But the moment I dropped that mic, the moment I stopped speaking, I could feel the energy in the room shift. I could feel everybody's gaze. All of a sudden, it's like everybody's gaze you know, everybody's gaze is like, who's this guy? Positioning. Yeah. anyways. So after my intro, the next thing that happened was where people would share about what they are currently experiencing in their business, plus what they're currently struggling with in their business. And so when this particular lady, there's a particular lady who shared what she was experiencing in her business. She's an Indian, I remember, an Indian lady. And she said that she had been running ads on Facebook for the longest time. And all the ads that she has been running on Facebook seems to be driving leads for them, but nobody is actually buying what they're selling. And I allowed her to finish because she was saying what she was saying. I could already feel that I could be of help to her, that I could contribute something of value to her in that moment. Keyword, demonstration of authority. And so immediately I raised my hand. When she finished speaking, I was now told to speak. And so I directed my attention to her, that I couldn't help but raise my hand the moment she mentioned that she has been getting leads come in, but people are not buying. So I told her 9 times out of 10, when you are getting leads from a particular platform and the people are not purchasing, it's not because they can't purchase per se. 9 times out of 10, it's the messaging. Then I explained further and I said that every piece of messaging that you put out into the marketplace attracts a certain kind of person. These platforms, like Facebook, for example, has as much as 8 billion users. Are you trying to tell me that your stuff is so unique that among 8 billion people, there is not one who can pay for your stuff? She now said, well, I mean, when you put it that way, I mean, definitely there would definitely be a couple of people. And so I said, definitely yes, because it's the messaging. So if you're not getting the right kind of person, it's because of the messaging. So if you tweak the messaging, you will change who you attract. So if you want to attract the right person, you need to change the messaging. And immediately she said, wow, that I never thought of it that way before. Guys, can you tell me in the chat, what did I just do in that moment in a room that was full of like maybe 30 people, maximum 30 people, where other people could have been the one to raise hand and say something, but nobody else did? I raised my hand, and in that moment, I demonstrated authority without asking for permission, without being sorry about it, or without being, timid about it. I did it like I owned the freaking stage. I did it like I freaking owned the room. And guess what? The moment I did that, as I was doing it, now mind you, as I was doing it, I noticed the gaze again, I noticed the gaze of the room shifting towards me. And now it was like 2 more people that shared their whole, experiences. And when they were done, it was now time for breakouts. You know what a breakout session is? You guys who do networking events and conferences, you know what breakout sessions are, right? So this was not necessarily a session per se. It was more just typical breakout. So now break out into smaller groups so that you can know each other, right? And what I noticed was that everyone was breaking out towards me. I wonder why. Even the COO, the Chief Operating Officer at NAS Company, that was where I met him for the first time. His name is Alex. Those of us who were following me back then, you remember when I did a live session with Alex, the COO at NAS Company. We did a live session. I posted it on LinkedIn. I remember I posted it on LinkedIn that time. And it all started from one demonstration of authority. You see what I'm saying? So my introduction was not enough, as much as it was nice, right? As much as it was nice, it wasn't enough. It was not enough to cause them to make a logical conclusion that this person is definitely someone of value. This person is someone who I want to work with. This is someone, thank you, Chibueze. You got the words right. That's the word I was looking for. Immediately, she saw me. She made a logical conclusion that I am her savior. And she became my client, by the way. I got 3 clients from that meeting. High ticket. See what I'm talking about? Right? Sorry. You see what I mean, right? It's now making sense to someone, right? It's not making sense to that. And that is called the demonstration of authority. It's called the demonstration of authority, but I need to warn you. Let me warn you, it's not everybody that can do it. It's not everybody that can do it. Before you can demonstrate authority effortlessly, you must be a result-oriented person. You cannot go and read book. After you finish reading book, then you want to become what do you call it? You want to be going to everywhere and be demonstrating. Or what are you demonstrating? You don't have any authority, guy. You just went to go and read some books. You cannot demonstrate any authority from reading books. You can demonstrate knowledge, perhaps, but definitely not authority. The authority you demonstrate comes from certain things. Number one, it comes from confidence. It takes somebody who is confident to be able to open his mouth and demonstrate authority without asking for permission, without being sorry about it or thinking that somebody's going to tell you, oh, come on, keep quiet there. No, you demonstrate authority, because in that room, the only thing you are concerned about is, I want to be as valuable. I want to be a contributor of value in this room. Interesting, right? There is a mindset that comes with it. The mindset that every time you walk into a room, you want to be the person who is contributing as much value as possible, not the most value. Because I find in most cases, it's funny because in most cases you end up being the person that contributes the most value, but your goal is not to contribute the most value. Your goal is to be as valuable as you possibly can in that room, to be the contributor of as much value as you possibly can in that room. Most people don't do this. Most people are busy collecting contact, WhatsApp numbers, busy snapping selfies. But you are busy demonstrating authority. Whenever I go for networking events, that's all I do. That's how I network. I network by demonstrating authority all through. Anybody who has attended a networking event with me can tell you this for a fact. I network by demonstrating authority. And you know what's so powerful about demonstrating authority is this is one of the easiest, fastest ways for you to land clients. Because when you demonstrate authority, instantly you create a conclusion that you are somebody that they can work with. Demonstration of authority. Now let's go to the last one because of time. If we had more time, I would have. There's so much about positioning. Well, but let's go to the last one because of time. I believe you guys understand what I mean now when I say demonstration of authority, right? Yes? The demonstration of authority is basically where you, based on your expertise, based on your experience, based on your results, right? You are able to immediately on the spot, instinctively identify a scenario where your value fits into the context of someone's experience, right? It takes someone who has practiced it once, twice, three times and above to really become at that level of instinct. But trust me, if you practice this long enough, you will make a ton of money for yourself. I can tell you that for free, because you will become the most valuable person in the room, no matter what room you find yourself in. You don't need to be introduced as someone of value before you become valuable in that room. You can be a complete stranger in a room, and in 15 minutes, you become the most valuable person in the room. How? By identifying the problems people are not seeing and immediately positioning yourself as the ultimate solution to them. That's it. So demonstration of authority. Okay. Let me see if I can just give me 1 moment. Let me see if I can grab something so I can at least get some air in here. All right. So the final one, for the sake of time, is what I call indoctrination. It's one of the most powerful forms of high level or high authority positioning. It's called indoctrination. So write it down. Indoctrination. It's like, how do you make people to become part of your cult ethically? Ethically. How do you make people to become a part of your cult ethically? It's through indoctrination. Again, let me explain this by giving you an illustration. How many of us have ever attended a church for the first time before? First timer, type first timer in the chat, eh? Type first timer in the chat. While you're typing that, let me be plugging this charger. So you have ever attended a church for the first time as a first timer? Type first timer in the chats. Okay, we have a couple of first timers here. Nice. now, what do you notice? What do you notice when you are a first timer in the middle of the service, right? The pastor or whoever is manning the mic would normally come on the mic and say something like, we have some royalty in our midst today, eh? We have royalty in our midst today. If this is your first time at a Sunday service with us, or this is your first time attending this church, can you give the Lord a wiper? Can you wave your hand? Come on, wave your hand where you're seated. And then you wave your hand, right? And the next thing they will say, all right, so please stand, wherever you are, please stand, please stand, please stand. Let the people around them give them a warm handshake. Yeah, pay attention. No? Let the people around them give them a warm handshake, and everybody's giving you a handshake from your left, from your right, from the front, from the back. They're giving you handshakes. The next thing they say, okay, so please take everything you have with you, depending on the church, of course. It's not every time they say you should bring out your things that you came with, right? But in some churches, they will say, carry your belongings that you came to church with you and come to the altar for pastor to bless you, right? So come to the altar, step by step. Come to the altar. That's the next step. Come to the altar. Come to the altar. Come to the altar. That's how they do it everywhere. And the next thing, when you go to the altar, pastor prays for you. After I pray for you, next step. Now, look behind you. When you look behind you, you're going to see the people who are carrying that big card. Follow me. That big card you see there, say, follow me. Just follow them. Follow them. They have a special package for you right there. They have a special package for you. And then next thing you turn around and then you follow the people with the special package thing. And then you go to the back, right? When you get to the back of the room or the back of the church, or maybe wherever they welcome their newcomers, they'll give you a chair to sit down, right? Or maybe they will prepare something for you, Then you are seated. Wait now. Then you are seated. Then what's the next thing? They'll be like, please just fill out this form. Okay, just fill out this form. We want to know you. We want to be able to contact you. Okay, I want to be able to reach you so that, and then they'll give it a form. Or maybe they will give you a QR code to scan. And then you fill your name, your surname, your email address, your phone number, your blood group, your bank account number, your social security ID, your mother's date of birth, your mother's maiden name, your father. They will nearly collect your entire generation's details in that document. Now, after they are done collecting those details, what's the next thing? So, will you come back again? They will ask us, will you come back again? We have our services. Oh, I forgot to mention, why they are calling you to come out, when they tell you to come out, while you are by the altar waiting for pastor's blessing, they will tell you that we have our services twice a week, on Wednesdays by 4 p.m. and on Sundays by 8 a.m. Okay, we have 2 services on Sunday, so you can choose to attend any of our services, and you can also choose to join any of our units. You can join our units. Now, why are they doing this every week? Somebody type indoctrination. They could have just said welcome, right? They could have just said, if you're here for the first time, welcome, give the handshake, back, done. Why do they have to go as far as getting your contact details and telling you which departments there are and telling you which department you should join? Choir unit is very, very, very nice. Protocol unit is very, very nice. Technical unit is very, very nice. It's very, very, very nice. They want you to stay. So indoctrination is one of the most powerful ways of getting strangers to become a part and parcel of your community. They use that indoctrination system to get you as a first timer to become a part and parcel of their community. Look, this is one of the most powerful things you're going to learn today. I tell you, it's crazy. Now, how do you apply this in real life? How do you apply this in everyday life? Many of us who are here right now, maybe you might not have done it yet, but maybe tomorrow you're going to start driving traffic into your business and you're going to get 100 people per day, and you are going to get 200 people per day, 300, 400, 4,000, 5,000, and more. When that happens, you must, and I say must, have an indoctrination system for them. Why? Because your indoctrination system is how you get the strangers to feel like they are part of your community. You see why I say it is like cult initiation? It's like cult initiation ceremony, because that point, look, that point of indoctrination is the point where you are calling them into the fold. You are not just saying, come on back. Did you notice since I started this whole thing, I've never said anything about this, how to say to people? But you see, these things I'm telling you or teaching, not telling you, I'm teaching you about, are the things that cause people to make a logical conclusion that they want to buy. Do you know that I have given offers that are as high as 1.5 million naira before? And when people paid, they finished paying before they came to ask me, so Coach Kenny, how does it work? People will pay you 1.5 million naira and then come and ask you how it works. Meaning they did not know what they were paying for. But why did they pay? Don't worry, it's not juju. I can promise you it's not juju. It's positioning. It's positioning. I have an offer that I'm launching tomorrow. Let me give you an example. If you go to, should I mention it? It's not officially launched yet, though. It's a risk to mention it now. But anyways, I can mention it, no problem, because some people will watch this in the future. So I have an offer I'm launching tomorrow. AIagentsmastery.me. That's if you open your browser and you go to AIagentsmastery.me, you're going to see the offer that we're launching tomorrow. It's not really an offer. It's just like a masterclass where I want to teach what I know about AI agents, basically. And so, as I speak with you right now, we have a substantial number of people that have already signed up for that particular training, including the VIP access. And many of them who signed up didn't have any idea what they were signing up for, but all they knew was that Kenny is doing the training. Kenny is doing the training. I'm joining the training. Wait, let me show you something. There was one I saw one of our groups yesterday. It made me laugh like a child. When I saw this message, people are very funny. Where's that message? Let me see if I can find. I want to read it word for word the way he said it. Will I be able to find that thing? Okay, but what the guy basically said was that as long as it is you that is doing it, I'm there. As he said, I'm in. He said, I don't know what people are saying they are in for, because I was trying to generate indications of interest for the training I'm talking about. So I needed people to type that they are in if they were interested. And so people are typing their in. This guy comes to the group, he sees that people are typing their in. He said, I don't know what people are typing their in for, but whatever it is, I'm in. If it's Kenny that is doing it, it's me, I'm in. And that's what we're talking about. It's not one thing, it's a combination of everything. Okay. So all these positioning techniques that I've taught you today, it's not one thing. It's not saying, I'm not saying become perfected in the area of surface level positioning. No, it's not one thing. They are all moving parts. It's just like you have different parts or organs of the human body, but it's all towards functioning properly as a human being, isn't it? Each organ works together so you can function maximally as a human being, isn't it? Yes. Indoctrination is so powerful. I wish we had the time. I wish we had the time. I would have given you guys something more on indoctrination, but we don't have so much time. But I guess, and I hope that you understand what I mean when I say indoctrination, right? It's very, very powerful stuff. It can take somebody from, I don't know who this guy is, to please give me a link. I want to buy your stuff in 30 minutes, that fast. It's powerful stuff. Okay. So this brings us to the end of the positioning. Will I call it mini masterclass? Now, this is a mini masterclass because normally positioning masterclass is like 8 hours, 5 to 8 hours, but we'll be here for like, I think like 2 hours now. So let's see if we have questions. If you guys have questions, hit me with a few and then we can wrap it up. Where's Joe? I meant AI agents mastery. That is in plural. AI agents mastery.me. Me. Dot you. Not you, but me. dot me. Okay. AI agents mastery.me. I told you I don't used to use slides to teach. I used to teach from the spirit. And I hope my spirit has taught you something today. Okay, thanks for the feedback. I can see amazing feedback in the chats. Thank you very much. Ooh, someone says amazing. Nice. Awesome. This class has been enlightening and tutored like this. So real and applicable. Thank you very much. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Okay. How do you apply indoctrination in your business? That's a very great question. Okay. Let me give an example of indoctrination in action. Okay, how I apply indoctrination, for example. So on WhatsApp, I drive traffic a lot through WhatsApp. And whenever I get a substantial number of new traffic into WhatsApp, I always indoctrinate them. And how I do it is through my WhatsApp status, right? I would make a slide of WhatsApp statuses that is engineered to indoctrinate them. It would normally start by welcoming them, right? So I would welcome them. It's just like church service. Think about the process that you follow in the church service indoctrination. That's the kind of process you also want to follow in your own indoctrination as well. Okay. So you start off by introducing yourself. So you hear me say something like, if you're just seeing my WhatsApp status for the very first time, you're welcome to my compound on WhatsApp status street. This is me. And then I put the next slide. You have a picture of me. You have a picture of me in the snow. I'm smiling and I'm happy and I'm bubbly. A picture of me in the snow with me smiling. I wish I could share the screen and show you that picture. But what does that picture do? It doesn't just show you that this is me. I could have shown you any selfie of mine, right? But I had to show you a picture of me in the snow in a different country from the country you probably are. And that positions me by location. But I at the same time in the caption, you hear me say my positivity is infectious. You hear me say something like my positivity is infectious, and you're focusing on so many things at the same time. Some people are focusing on the guy's face. You're like, the guy, the boy is fine, or seeing him limp. And some other people are saying, this guy travels a lot. Some people are saying, different things are flying through their heads. It's intentional. It's intentional. It's engineered. Okay. And then after that, we go to the next slide where we begin to talk about things like what should they be expecting from me every day? What are some of the things that they should be expecting to see from me every day? What else again? Oh, what are some of my experiences? I say I can share my journey with them. So one of the things I normally do in my indoctrination is where I say, over the past 5 years, I have done this. I've been able to go from 0 to this. And here's the story of how it happened, right? So I basically walk them through my journey. I walk them through my journey of how I started, from where I started from, and I go to the lowest low. So I go to the lowest low, and I take them with me on the journey to the highest high. Does that make sense? So it's all part of the indoctrination, okay? The essence of telling that story from lowest low to highest high is to form value matches, okay? So it does multiple things. So it's both an origin story and a hero's journey story. A hero's journey story is basically a story of how he went from hell to heaven. Basically, that's what it is. So what that does is that it forms strong value matches with people who are reading through that story, And immediately after those value matches are formed, you know what happens next, right? And then there's also where I do positioning by location. Well, I used to also do a bit of lifestyle marketing in the mix. I used to mix it up with a little bit of lifestyle marketing, inspirational marketing as well. So I've mentioned things like there was a time when I used to dream of being able to be at the beach with my laptop. I remember then before I got into internet marketing, I used to see the white guys who would be at the beach with their laptop and they will be living the in quote ultimate lifestyle of the ultimate laptop lifestyle from anywhere they are in the world. So there was a part of me that always dreamed like, when will I be able to just sit down in the beach somewhere and be pressing my laptop? And there was a part of my mind too that said I must recreate that thing. I saw one picture one day of one guy that was crossing his leg on the beach and laptop was on. He was on top of his lap. He was on vacation. I said I must recreate this picture, and I did it. I recreated the picture. I wish I can show you guys somewhere sitting in my phone somewhere, but I recreated it at a beautiful premium resort in Kenya. Beautiful, beautiful picture. So, anyways, all that is part of my indoctrination, and then I end it by saying that if they are bullish on their growth in mind, knowledge, skill, then they should definitely make sure that they keep following my activities on the platform. And I wrap it up, and I say I'm going to see them the next day, or maybe I'm going to see them tomorrow, and so on and so forth. But basically, that's what the indoctrination entails. Okay, it's different things. It's different ingredients to form a beautiful soup, beautiful pot of soup that makes people to say, I must follow this person. I must buy from this person. I must learn from this person. Okay. How do you demonstrate authority? Even if you know you are an expert, you have the experience, and you have the results. However, for some reason, you feel scared because you feel like you still don't know enough. Then your focus should not be on demonstrating authority. Your focus should be on conquering the fear of inadequacy, right? It's real. There are a lot of people who have imposter syndrome. So they hide themselves inside books, they hide themselves inside courses, thinking that the more you learn, the more valuable you become. I'm not saying you're not becoming valuable by learning, but trust me, the value you acquire by applying that which you know to produce results is infinitely greater. I can tell you that for a fact. But I'm not saying you should choose one or the other. You should be doing both because we're in the business of learning how things work. You're not in the business of making sales in your business. You're not in the business of digital marketing or whatever it is you do. We are in the business of learning how things work. As long as you stay obsessed and curious about things, stay obsessed with knowing how things work, it's only the sky is your starting point because people will naturally see you as someone that they want to have in their network just by virtue of how much knowledge that you carry and how much value that you have as an individual, right? And again, you should also look at it from this angle. If you have, I remember how I overcame stage fright. There was a time when I used to be extremely scared of singing on stage. And I realized after conquering it that why it was happening all that time was because I was too self-conscious. The thought that it's about you and how you look and how you sound and how you move and how you sing and how you whatever is the beginning of the fear. As a matter of fact, it's the beginning and the middle of the fear. But the end of it is in the moment you realize it's not about you, but it's about the person who is listening to you and how you impact that person and how that person experiences your presence. How does your presence impact that person? That's the only thing that matters. Nothing else matters. You can be wearing rags for you can make impact in rags if your focus is on who you're speaking to. I know what I'm saying. So it's more about the person who you are impacting, right? The moment you shift that focus from me to them, it shifts completely. I remember the first day I tried it, it was during a service, I was taking the solo for a song. And instead of thinking, will I flop? Will I flop? I'm scared. I looked at one person in the audience, just one person. All it takes is just one. And something happens to you when you look at one person with intent on help, that's intent on directing your impact to that person. There is something that shifts within you. The moment you begin to impact one, you can impact all. Because how you impact one is how you impact all, isn't it? Yeah. I hope I've answered that question. Is it possible to lose your authority? If yes, how do you recover it? This is really, look, there's different dimensions to loss of authority. I know what I'm saying because I've seen a lot of people in the past who your reputation precedes you. Okay. In the sense that when people talk about you, it's like it's all love, it's all, craze, everybody's excited. But when you get up close and personal with them, the first thing you notice is that even though their reputation precedes them before you meet them, when you finally meet them and get to know them, their reputation exceeds them. What does that mean? It means they are not who in reality, they are no longer who people think they are. So, yes, you can lose your authority. You can lose your authority. And the same way you build it is the same way you recover it, because out of that which you are, you create. Let me tell you something. If you are not the kind of person who becomes an authority, you cannot become an authority. Because again, out of that which you are, you're able to create authority. You're able to create wealth. You're able to create success. People don't, businesses don't succeed, right? It's people who succeed within businesses. The same way businesses don't fail, it is people who fail inside of businesses. So, in order to answer your question, I'll tell you again, if you are the person who builds authority, if you become that person who builds authority, then you will definitely be able to recover it even if you lose it for any reason. I hope that answers your question. Yes, I can see Joe. Joe is here now.
Coach, I celebrate you. I know we have a couple of more questions before you go. And just to chip into what this lady asked, how do you recover authority? The thing is, authority is not just something you get, lose, and recover. It's really
It's
a total
reputation.
summation.
It's reputation,
Yes,
really.
exactly. It's a total summation of the reputation you have built. For example, one of the biggest authority killers is over-promising and under-delivering. So let's say you are known for promising heaven and earth. When you get this training, you're gonna be this. When you sign into my cohort, you're gonna be this. When you work with me one on one, you will get XYZ. And ultimately, even if now these people may not even come and drag you online, but you see that reputation is a seed that will germinate, because every person that leaves you frowning, leaves you unhappy. They do not go to. For example, recently someone called me and said, Coach Joe, I know you are into this online space. I saw one particular offer online. What can you say about this person? I want to really buy it. The person is selling this offer and I'm sold. And I'm like, I like this person, but to be honest, without trying to spoil anybody's business, this person has a reputation to overpromise and underdeliver. So I wouldn't put my money on this person. Now, that's me secretly already underselling a supposed authority.
Yeah.
So the truth is this: you can fool people as you like on social media or in the DM, but you see, businesses spiral ultimately based on the reputation you built over time. One person, because there's the law of 5 connections, a bit 6 connections, where you need to know somebody that knows someone that knows someone that knows someone that knows someone that know what you know what you need. And so you might be doing this to one person and think it's nothing, but this one person will spiral into this. That's why so the long and short of this is, how do you recover authority? Number one, you have to first be honest with yourself and with your audience. Let's say, for example, you did something that was not so nice and you are aware that this thing don't cast, even if I deny them. One of the things that can easily help you buy back that love from your audience is vulnerability. Be able to come online and say, guys, truth is, I've not been happy with some XYZ. There was a project I
Confess
ran.
your sins and receive forgiveness.
Exactly. Confess your sins in the open, but not in a way that it destroys your positioning. Let it position you as someone who is honest enough to admit their flaws. So, for example, I could say stuff like, this is yes, one experience that I deeply regret. I worked with this client, I did this, I tried to do this, but unfortunately, I couldn't deliver as I promised. something like that. But I've learned from the experience. Now, you want to also tell what you did to try and improve. For example, I did something like that, and I said I chose to work with the clients until they get results. Something like that, right? So you want to first of all lead with honesty. Secondly, lead with value. Focus on delivering value. Or you could also think of creating something that is of value, depending on your industry and niche, something that is of value to people, either at a very ridiculously low amount or in collaboration with someone for free, depending, maybe like a sponsor. Point is, long and short is there are many roads into this destination. The one point is find how you can return value to your audience and do it consistently. Even if the old batch of audiences that liked you have gone, new audiences are springing up every minute. And so these new ones are your hope to recover your reputation and rebuild it brick by brick. So that's just my 2 cents on that. Now the next question for you, Coach Kenny. You mentioned value
Okay.
matching, and I'm considering how to use it as a virtual assistant targeting founders. Most of the stories you shared were personal to you. Can fictional stories be used? When I read this, what I read is, can I lie? Am I allowed to lie?
Don't try to see my face the way I'm looking at you like this. Don't try to.
I beg you, don't
Don't use
use.
fictional stories to form see value matches are personal in nature. They create one-to-one connection. They
Mhm.
create one-to-one connection. If you don't have a personal story to share, then don't share.
Can
Okay.
I say something,
I
sir?
mean, yes, before you do, please.
Go.
Everyone actually has a personal story to share, contrary to what many people would think. There is nobody on earth that has lived for more than 5 years that does not have a personal story to share. What you need to be learning is how to tell your story. That's what you should be learning. How do I
That's
tell
it.
my story? How am I able to capture my origin story, for example? How am I able to capture my hero's journey story? Those of us who have been able to achieve some level of transformation in our lives, how am I able to capture my hero's journey story? There is a formula, by the way. Some people don't know. There's a formula for it. Do you get what I mean?
Awesome. Thank you, boss. That was what I was about to say, that we all have a story, but the problem is, for the most part, we are so focused on trying to be other people. For
Mhm.
example, yeah, someone could see. I've seen some couple of people on LinkedIn do this a lot. They see Yasmin Alish right in a way, they practically copy the hook and everything, but just change it a bit. The branding colors, the headline, and I'm like, are you well? I've seen some people also copy maybe my branding. I help you get seen, heard, and hired. You say I help you get seen, heard, and monetized. I help you get
Mhm.
seen, heard, and booked. The problem is the moment you look like you are a caricature copy of another person, you automatically build the authority and position of that person, and you undersell yourself. So the truth is, do you have a story? Yes. For example, how did you find virtual assistants? What did you study in school? And what made you find the shift to virtual assistants?
Should
Did
I
you?
also add to that thought?
Yeah,
Sorry to
there are
cut
many
in.
things to tell.
Let me add to that thought by saying this. I feel like there's somebody who needs to hear this particular one. You need to be paying attention to what is working for you.
Bam.
There are too many people who don't pay attention to what is working for them because the mind is always looking for that which is new. But the mind does not pay attention to that which is working. So many of us, in fact, documentation for you right now, you who is sitting down there right now, is just you raising your phone and snapping a selfie of where you are right now.
Mm-hmm,
That is a
mm-hmm.
form of documentation. That is a form of documentation because 3 years from now, you'll be able to have that same picture as before, and then a new life at the after. You'll be able to post a picture of you in a completely different environment, in a completely different life as the after, and that becomes a powerful story that you can tell of how did I go from here to here. You see what I mean? So anything, and let me also add this, is that anything can be a powerful tool for telling stories. You can be at the filling station and observe the way a particular woman came and was able to get the attention of everybody that was in that filling station and got them to buy what she was selling. That's a story. People have stories all around them. Every single day, you have stories all around you, but you're not observant enough for you to see it because you're in survival mode. Most of us who are even here right now, let's be honest with ourselves, we are in survival mode. You're busy thinking about how am I going to pay my data subscription? How am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to do this one? That's what's in your
Mm-hmm.
mind.
How do I get my
Notice,
first clients?
do you get
One
what I
thousand
mean?
dollars.
You're not noticing the things that are happening around you every single day. There are stories flying everywhere around you. You're just not seeing them. And even you, in particular, like there are things that are happening to you that you're not seeing because you're not documenting, you're not paying attention to these things. Yeah.
So a question, thank you for that, Coach Kenny. A question, these two questions are similar. This one says is how to actually position as a beginner. What can you say about this? So this other question is a follow-up. How do we go about the steps of positioning as we are just starting without experience? So these two questions are practically the same thing.
Okay. How do you go about the steps of positioning when you're starting without experience?
Can
Surface
I say
level is
something?
probably the first one. Yes, please.
Yeah, I was once a beginner. So as someone who was once a beginner who learned from the goats
Surface level
himself,
positioning is the origin, is
you
the
do
beginning
this,
point.
when you were speaking earlier, I realized that you see the other steps of positioning you said, I don't remember them. There's one
That's
position
surface level position.
when I say positioning, because you see, they say dress the way you want to be addressed. And so from the surface level, it eventually trickles and dovetails into many other levels. For example, in surface level positioning, you are practically focusing on the external. So how your profile looks, how you sound, the types of pictures you snap, where you snap the picture. One picture I snap in Dubai, for me it's surface level, but that's already geographical positioning. I go to a networking event and I snap a picture with Aki and Labi. I am still focused on surface level, but in reality, the outcome internally in my user and viewer is authority positioning, or what you call that one, right? By association. So much of what this many, just to simplify it for you, much of the steps in positioning that he has taught, I think the real anchor is the surface level, because that is where it starts. Everything else eventually is a product of the internal conclusions and impressions the surface level builds. And so you are asking, how do I start? Step one, if you were in the class yesterday, you will see I spent a very annoying amount of time, annoying to me, to show you the types of picture to use, how to brand. Someone is asking me in my DM, is this branding perfect yet? I said no. Why? Because I do not see that profile and have the aura vibe. That, see, there's a branding you will see. Even you go to look your profile like, now maybe this. So surface level is not just color, picture, and ChatGPT hooks. It's really about the strong impression, first impression you leave on people when they see you. So you're asking, how do I start? I would say, depending on where you are, go and take good pictures, go and work on your profile, go and tell.
You can do it with AI. You don't even take it.
Exactly. Remember what Coach Kenny said about positioning basically is who you say you are, the sum total of who you say you are. So start with the saying, right? I am a virtual assistant for XYZ founders. Remember, that's a feature, that's not the benefit. You want to start with a pain level type of elevator pitch, right? So start with who you say you are, look like who you say you are. You cannot say you are a service person to top CEOs and founders. Meanwhile, your profile
looks by its covers 100% of the time.
Thank you. Meanwhile, your profile looks like someone who is begging for urgent 2K. Surface level is your best place to start. So I don't know if that covered it, Coach K.
Yeah, definitely. Knocks the ball out of the park. Big shout out to Mr. Sam. Mr. Sam is here. Big shout out to you, sir.
Sam who?
Sam Hubbard now.
The boss. Oh, Daddy Wa. It's true. It's true. I should bring Daddy Wa for this event too. I don't know.
Big shout out.
Daddy Wa not best. May I have beg you in public. Daddy Wa is a senior that I know we should say I don't talk to Daddy Wa. Daddy Wa beg. See me I need that for you.
Thank you for the birthday wishes. I can see he's wishing me happy birthday. My birthday is on Sunday, by the way, guys. My birthday is on
this Sunday. So Daddy Wa, I would after this call, I should get through to you, sir. All right. So I was talking about how Coach Kenny helped me. Daddy Wa is, in the ladder of the people that bless my life. We have Coach Kenny, then we have Daddy Wa. Daddy Wa helped Coach Kenny. Coach Kenny helped my life. Now, so we just do like that. And it's so. Anyways, let's focus. I will get back to Daddy Wa, because if I start talking about Daddy Wa, we not go come up for here. Now, I just want to see if we have a couple of more relevant questions that you have to answer. What would you focus on first? I've already told you surface level position. Now, do you take for good place? Do I need to take photos in good places of where I find myself as? Yeah, so yeah, that's that kind of question. That's your surface level now, guy. You didn't want to. Someone is saying you are saying your unique value is to reposition. I bet I not read this question, Coach K. I bet me read them.
So are you saying one's unique value is tied to one identifying with his or her position, which could lead to a prospect making a logical conclusion or preconceived notion about you? Well, sir, first of all, I think you need to install Hemingway app. Hemingway is an app that you can use to dumb down your
Yeah.
language, make your English easier for the layman to pick up. But anyways, I understand what you're trying to say, and um, the short answer is yes, right? Your unique value proposition is naturally going to cause people to make a logical conclusion about you, like every single time. Who you help, how you help them. Simple as that. That's your unique value proposition. And anytime someone sees that, you're engineering it because you're trying to engineer people's perception, isn't it? So when somebody comes across it for the first time, they are supposed to make a logical conclusion about you. Yeah. Okay. So I hope that answers the question.
Okay, that's a good one. So, ladies and meant to join. If I leave una make una ask question, we know will come up for you. We started this class since 8:30, and this is already 10:30.
I
That's
have to even jump off. I
exactly. Coach K, thank you so
even
much
have
for
to
the
jump.
time. All right. So tomorrow, ladies and men, to Coach K, I think you can remove it from the stage now so that you can focus on what you need to do. So, ladies and men to Jen, thank you so much. And I just had to pin my boss on the screen so that you know who I'm calling Daddy Wa. His name is none other than Sam, Mr. Sam Harvard, Dr. Sam Harvard. We call her doctor because he's a doctor of doings. Anyway, so ladies and men to Jen, I just want to say thank you for the compliment, sir. I just want to say thank you for joining us tonight. Please do not allow the efforts that we are putting into this waste. The goal of all this challenge is if you can, you see, for me, what I would say changed the game for me was surface level positioning, understanding it and milking it to the end. If you understand this, you will know that your look and feel, the impressions you leave matter a lot. I even want to say something about this positioning. The first 3K deal I got on LinkedIn, it was not because I came on LinkedIn to share how I helped clients achieve XYZ. It was it was a I will see that the world has chance to come and grace you people. All right, but we'll discuss that one. It was a an event. It was even with Daddy Wa. That's why I pinned him here. So we went to Cameroon, and Daddy Wa gave me the privilege of speaking to over 1,000 people in Cameroon, telling my journey and my story. And I made a video from that. Thankfully, one of the guys helped me. I made a video from it, and then I posted it on LinkedIn. That video, with the write-up I did with that video, was I would say it was the last straw that my ideal client saw and say, I like you. I would love to work with you. That was it. It was not because I gave 100 steps how to be, because some of you think positioning is really about you coming on LinkedIn or on social media and sound like a broken record, talking always about virtual assistants, about value, about, some people think value means motivation, always sharing perspective to acquire, or always talking about how to make money, right? Think about your unique selling proposition. Think about the real value, the real pain you help people solve, and talk about it. Eventually, if you show up and show undeniable proof, you show real workings, the kind of deals where you go, they attract. You heard how Coach Kenny said he attracted a deal of someone asking him, do you hope you don't charge more than $10,000 to speak? I've attracted deals that they are begging me with $8,000. As although I mean, for $8,000 right now is small, but for a lot of people it's big. But as at that time it was big for me, and today it is still big money. But point is, they were begging me with $1,000, and this was me saying, okay, no, let's make it this, and they're like this. The whole point of what I'm saying is, I did not come from a place of privilege. A lot of you right now watching this stream may be at a point where you feel like a fraud. You feel like I'm a beginner. Where do I start from? The first thing I will tell you is calm down first. Calm down. If plane go fly, it go fail waka for tarmac. I use pigeon, say this one make it for enter your head. Every great thing, every great height always starts from the plains, starts from the lows. So your low right now is not an accident. It's not a mistake. It's not an unfortunate occurrence in your life. It's a starting point. I need you to do yourself, me and you, do me a favor. I want you to document everything as it is. Go to your room. This one is without filter. Sit down in your room. Tell somebody, snap me. as ugly as the room. These are pictures that you can't even upload on social media right now. Take that picture and upload it to your Google Photos. Save it in your Google Drive. Don't post it yet. Then tell yourself, give me 2 years, give me 1 year. Now, for the next 1 year, I want you to do something. Consistently grow in value, because you can look the path, but if you do not know the path, you cannot deliver the path. So it's one thing to look the path, it's another thing to be it. For me, my greatest quote that I always tell myself is, I don't want to just look rich, I want to be rich. But ultimately, I want to be rich and look rich. All right. But first of all, let's focus on becoming than just looking. So what I want you to do is document your present state. Right now, I still have a screenshot of my last 600 naira when I spent my last card to learn affiliate marketing. I still have screenshot, a picture of me in University of Benin, Hall 3 hostel, when I was shirtless, eating beans and in a very dirty room. Why do I have those pictures? Because 5, 6, 10 years ago, I said, snap this picture. Why? Because I told myself I'm going to be better, and these pictures, I will show people that this is where God brought me out from. If you are a believer and you are a Christian, this is the time to use your faith. Faith is not just a feeling. You have to, like Abraham, who considered not his body now dead. You have to invest. You have to not consider your life as now dead. Focus on where your eyes are. Focus on learning, focus on becoming, and focus on showing. And that is the goal of what this challenge is to help you do. If you notice in the community, I always tell you guys, it's not about posting, adding numbers, it's quality. I met Coach Kenny in a Telegram group, and that one quality connection changed my life. A lot of you right now have access to people. Rather than really building something that is mutually beneficial, you're only doing, go and like my post. Can you support my post? And that's just it for you. That's the problem with some of you and some people, is that we are trying to lead you to say, this is what really makes you a success. But you are trying to perform. You are performing for social media. You are performing for likes. You are performing for vanity metrics. When you think, say, I host this challenge free, spending how many hours of my time for you guys, you think it's because I don't have work. No. Why am I doing this? I'll tell you why. Because over time, I sort of just zoned out from this whole teaching space, coaching space. And I focused more on, grinding, delivering for clients. Until one day I realized that, wait, everybody don't work, leave me. I'm telling you, I just realized that, wait, I have 120,000 community, but the people I have direct access to, who I can really say, yes, they are my G's, past 10. And I said, what am I doing wrong? I have the reach. I asked ChatGPT and myself, and ChatGPT tells me things about me, and I'm like, wait, now maybe this, and I'm like, wait, I am not taking advantage of what I have labored years to build. Then I said, okay, what do I do? Because someone asked, if you lost authority, how do you regain it? That's what I'm doing right now. Not like I would say I lost authority, but genuinely, honestly, I would say I lost a good amount of authority in the market space. Imagine someone saying, oh, Coach Joseph, do you know Coach Kenny? Sure, you didn't want me. How do you ask me if I know Coach Kenny? When I said that, I said, it clear say I know the show again. Because at some point I just felt like all this showing. It felt cringe. So I just felt like let me hide a bit and just do my thing on a low. Big mistake, bro. Loud down in this generation where Qatar FA, Portable, what's this annoying guy, Jarvis' boyfriend? People are where these guys are going viral. One of the biggest currencies in these latter days, I will tell you, make noise. Believe in your nonsense and be loud enough. My strength is too much. You remember that guy? These are the people you call retarded folks. Society called them like weird, but they are the people you are calling celebrities today. Thank you, Pella. My strength is too much. Speed met him, and of all the polished people, Speed chose him. Even the Speed you are celebrating today, in American context, Speed is a Pella. Speed, no, they not rate Speed for there. Speed is a weirdo. He's a weirdo. But obviously, he's loud. He has clout. That's something. When you get clout, even if you be Ozuo, people will put you for TV. Pella has been on TV, has met governors that PhD holders may never meet in their life. Pella has been on platforms that PhD holders may never step until they die and leave this world. Why? Because it's not about who is more polished. It's about who is louder. So show up, be visible, look the part, and value community. Build. One of the biggest thing, my biggest take home for tonight is indoctrination. In fact, at the end of this challenge, I want to indoctrinate all of you into my inner circle because I want us to do this for the long run. We will grow together. You go pay me money, I go bust your brain with value till you become. That's the indoctrination I want to do for you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I said something that I hosted this challenge for free because I did not want to say, I did not want money to be a barrier to the value I offer. So I said, you know what? I'm going to give you all for free. For the next 2 weeks, I'm committing to doing one thing. I'm going to help you get sense. By the time I tell you to pay me 1 million, even if you don't have it, you will go and do. By now, if I ask you to pay me 100K to teach you anything, you will pay. If you will pay, type I will pay in the comments. You see, maybe it's not play at the play. Now you do live demo for you. If I ask you now say 100K one-on-one, I could give you a ridiculous offer like for the next 30 days, you and I 100K. I need just 10 of you to pay me 100K. Let me teach you how to do these things for you. You will pay. You know why? Because value don't choke. But if I had asked you to say, pay money to join this challenge, you probably would not have paid. I probably would have had maybe 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 people. And then the rest of you that are here right now seeing this value would have lost the opportunity to see that I offer real value. What's another thing you should learn? When you are really focused on building something that will pay you bigger in the end, you want to reduce the barrier of entry. Let people know you as value first before you start adding a price tag. I feel like I'm preaching already. Let people locate your value first before you start attacking price tag. The problem with a lot of you is you have not yet established yourself as a valuable asset to anybody. You just come, connect with me, support me. Let's engage each other. Wait till they use and do you. Let's support each other. I won't say calm down. Don't share your post yet. No. Even today, I still saw somebody sharing post link. What are you posting? You go and read the post. It sounds very dry, very random, very LinkedIn-ish. Cringe. The point is this, so that I don't spend all the time because my eyes are on the time. I have a video to shoot tonight too, and I have a couple of calls. Point is this. I set up this challenge for two things. Number one, a lot of people were coming to me to say, I've not been on LinkedIn for a while. A lot of questions. I asked someone to pay me $300 for a one-on-one comeback starter. She was like, man, I can't afford this now, genuinely. And I was paying because I know I could help this person. And it dawned on me that how many people can really pay me 300, 500 USD to show them one or two things? And I said, you know what? How about I just do this for free? Number one, let me use it to gather all my community, all my gang, all my cult-like followers that I know that they know me, but for a while I've not been there. Because we used to do a lot of this Twitter spaces for free, Telegram, teaching and all that. But for some reason, I just went upgrade. I said, let me do this. Let me set a system where all the people that has forgotten me and even the new people that are meeting me for the first time get to know that Ine Joseph is a person of value. Now, if I now ask you, pay me 100K for XYZ value within a specific time, it will be easier for you to say, this guy, take my money, compared to few weeks ago before this setup. Now, what does that also show you? You can use this concept also, let's say when you meet a client, you see a client going through XYZ, you say, okay, fine. I would love to volunteer to do XYZ for you between ABC time, specified time, so that you don't shoot yourself in the foot. But focus more. This is another thing I learned from Coach Kenny in the early days. When you focus more on giving more than receiving, you will eventually receive without asking. Give before ask. As a matter of fact, if you focus on giving more, people will start asking you to ask. Let me explain. So let me wrap up with this. Tomorrow, the coach coming on, y'all gonna see Pepe. Somebody say Pepe. Pepe. Anyways, I was talking about giving. Let me tell you right now how to create demand generation for anything you're trying to sell without asking people to pay. Start by looking for a problem, right? You see that problem. For the next 1 or 2 weeks, talk about the problem and provide immediate solution to the problem for free on social media. Give your best knowledge, your most valuable knowledge, the things people would have paid you for. Give a good fraction of it for free on social media. Let me tell you what will happen. People would immediately see you as a person of value. You know the psychology? They will say, if his free is this good, what will his paid look like? So eventually, you teach the full system for free, people pay you for execution. And that is where you make more money, because in the execution phase, what you would have charged 10K for, because now execution is really tied to a pain, a problem, you can charge 50K, 100K for it, and they would pay. Because now you have given them the knowledge and they are still helpless. Now they need your help. Oh, I feel like I'm teaching too much. It's too much. The grace of the Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, and the sweet fellowship of the Holy Spirit rest and abide with us now and forevermore. It's true. We did not pray earlier. In Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for joining us tonight. Tomorrow, I'm bringing another coach. I will send you an email. It usually would fall in your promotions. I bet check them till I can fix that. I will send an email, check the announcement group, and check the Energy Hub for the updates that will come. Tomorrow's coach, our own job is to tell you how to set up your profile and monetize your brand before the applause and virality comes, so that you don't go viral and celebrate 10,000 followers, 10,000 impressions, but you are still broke. You still have less than 10,000 naira in your account. Can I speak to you? May you not seek 10,000 impressions instead of $10,000. Oh God, I feel like I'm preaching already. We're gonna call go. I don't already share grace, all right? Till we see you again, brothers and sisters, same time. What time tomorrow? Guys, do you think we should start earlier so that we can cover more grounds? Maybe 7:30 or 8. 8 p.m. I feel like it's gonna be, I don't know. I'm thinking 7:30 p.m. What do you guys think? 7:30 p.m. or 8 p.m. Since tomorrow is Saturday, all the 9 to 5 hours, y'all ain't going to work on Saturday, are you? 7:30 or 8 p.m. If you're in for 8 p.m., just say 8 p.m. If you're in for 7:30, say 7:30. This one they say 8:30. Share you the 1 minute. I think I want to schedule for 7:30, so that even if there is any network glitch or any delay, latest 8 o'clock we have started, and then before, let's say 9 p.m. we're done. All right. I think I want to schedule for 7:30. 7:30. I'm seeing a lot of 7:30. Someone is even saying 6 p.m. to 12 p.m. God with me. God visits you. Visits you positively. Okay, I've seen a lot of 7:30 enough. I'm convinced 7:30, 8 p.m. is not so much. Abdulaziz says 8, but a lot of, I'm seeing more 8 than 7:30. I'm seeing more 8 than 7:30. Yes, the replay will be on YouTube. I'm not hiding it or whatever. It's gonna be here. All the replays will be here. I want you to make the most of it. The real payment you can give me is win. If you win, now you go and come pay me Thanksgiving offering. All right, I won't ask you. You will come and pay Thanksgiving offering, but I want you to win first before we talk about money. So I'm not taking this down and asking you to come and pay for the replay. Nah, I'm doing that. I don't do that. I don't would pass that level. So I'll think between 7:30. I'm seeing a lot of 7:30, right? I'll think between 7:30 and 8 p.m. But till we see again, keep in life. God bless you. Bye for now. Peace. I love y'all. Bye. Bye. Bye.